Hello YouTubers, many of my subscribers already know that from the first moment when I came with this channel, I tried to disprove the atheist myths. Now, if you don't know what an atheist myth is it's a lie or a logical fallacy in which all atheists actually believe. For example, any atheist would actually believe that the atheist people never kill anybody, and there is no reason to kill if you are an atheist. Another example is the statement that the communists were not true atheists. For some atheists, to be a true atheist, you must also be vegetarian, and you must also love animals and be for gay marriages and stuff like that. Okay, so this is how an atheist fallacy looks like. Recently, some atheist girl actually made a video response addressed to me, in which she is using a few of the most known atheist myths. It was an epic fail.
Because ordinary failure just wasn't enough.
Hey, I guess this is my third time doing this because I want to make this as concise as possible, with as much information as I can. This is my video response to Vicro's comments on my last video. Vicro spelled V-Y-C-K-R-O. Basically, their comments kind of ticked me off. It was a bunch of "you're wrong, atheists suck," and atheist extremists are the most evil thing on the face of the earth. Alright. So, here's the easiest one, Vicro's top 5. The Dark Ages is an atheist myth. The Dark Ages is an atheist myth.
I said this because in this century, only atheists believe it.
Dark Ages are not an atheist myth if you've ever read a textbook.
In fact, all you need is 5 minutes of research on Google to find out why no serious historian would use this term today. I must admit that only a few centuries ago, most of historians would actually think that
the Dark Ages were basically a time between the fall of the Roman Empire and the start of the Renaissance, where society pretty much came to a standstill and
but much time has passed since then, and today no true historian will actually use this term. You see, the study of history has progressed a lot, and today we have a much more deeper understanding for that period. So this is why we, historians, use the term Middle Age and not Dark Age. Still, there are some historians who will use the term Dark Age for the first part of the Middle Age in Western Europe. But more recently, most historians disagree with this position. And even so, you must understand, when we historians use this word, the word Dark Age, we use it because that period is dark for us. I mean, we have little evidence, little records about it.
Everything was pretty much ruled by kings and the Catholic Church, so...
You mean there were these kings, and there was the Catholic Church too?
Now, here's my argument. The Dark Ages are kind of damning of Christianity, and...
Now, here is my argument. You probably heard who is the man's best friend. You know, the dog. But do you know who is the atheist's best friend? The atheist's best friend is the Wikipedia. And right now, as I speak, on Wikipedia there is an article called Science in the Middle Ages, just waiting for you. And because I know many atheists, they do not really like to read, I'm going to use text-to-speech for a small part of this article.
The 15th century saw the beginning of the cultural movement of the Renaissance. The rediscovery of Greek scientific texts, both ancient and medieval, was accelerated as the Byzantine Empire fell to the Ottoman Turks, and many Byzantine scholars sought refuge in the West, particularly Italy. Also, the invention of printing was to have great effect on European society that facilitated dissemination of the printed word, democratized learning, and allowed a faster propagation of new ideas. In the 19th century, the entire Middle Ages were called the Dark Ages, expressing contempt for an anti-scientific, priest-ridden, superstitious time. However, a radical re-evaluation occurred in the early 20th century, based on the wealth of information from the High and Late Middle Ages. When historians now use the term Dark Ages to refer to the early Middle Ages, it is intended to express the idea that the period seems dark only because of the shortage of historical records compared with later times. The stereotype of the entire Middle Ages as a dark age supposedly caused by the Christian Church for allegedly placing the word of religious authorities over personal experience and rational activity is called a caricature by the contemporary historians of science David Lindbergh and Ronald Numbers, who say the late medieval scholar rarely experienced the coercive power of the Church, and would have regarded himself as free, particularly in the natural sciences, to follow reason and observation wherever they are led. There was no warfare between science and the Church. Historian Edward Grant writes, if revolutionary rational thoughts were expressed in the age of reason, the 18th century, they were only made possible because of the long medieval tradition that established the use of reason as one of the most important of human activities.
Catholicism is not Christianity. They detached from the Church 1,000 years ago. Catholicism is the original Christianity. At around 300 AD, Constantine decided to make that the religion of the Roman Empire.
First, Constantine did not make Christianity the religion of the empire. That was the Emperor Theodosius.
The army of Rome marches in the name of the one true God!
And that was just a movie.
And that is where Catholicism started. It was the first really organized form of Christianity. So,
secondly, Christianity appeared in the Middle East. Even Catholics recognize that. Even the Pope recognized that. Now, in the history of Christianity, there is a difference between the word Catholic and the J Catholic Church.
They couldn't have detached from Christianity because they were the original Christianity.
Okay, you probably do not know, but it was this little thing called the Big Schisma.
Any sort of branching off is just that, it's branching off.
Okay, let's analyze it.
يقم الله ويتبدد جميع أعدائي ويهرب مبغض من أمام وجهه.
With the birth of the Church of Jesus Christ, at Pentecost, the apostles made many missionary journeys. Over time, 5 patriarchates were established in Antioch, Jerusalem, Rome, Alexandria, and Constantinople.
So we have in Christianity these 5 centers, all founded by an apostle. The Christian community of Jerusalem, founded by James, the brother of the Lord. The Church of Antioch, founded by Peter. The Judeo Catholic Church was, according to tradition, founded also by Peter. The Christian community of Alexandria was founded by Mark the Evangelist. And finally, the Patriarchy of Byzantium, later Constantinople, was founded by Saint Andrew the Apostle. So we have 5 strong communities of Christians, all with apostolic traditions, all are founded in important cities. And one day, the leader of one of these Christian community decided he do not want to play by the rules anymore.
Christianity is the one who created European culture. Wrong. During the Dark Ages, European culture went to a standstill, and it was basically the feudal system. You don't see much of the feudal system nowadays, and that is because of the Renaissance. When information was brought back from the Middle East, from the Muslims who actually...
No, the basic knowledge of the Renaissance was brought from the Byzantine Empire. From the Arabs, they took important notions about medicine and astronomy. But guess what? You're not going to know this if you're going to watch the Thunderfoot channel.
Kept that information of the Roman Empire and implemented back into European society, so you can actually thank the Romans, who were pagan, and Islam for European culture now. Fun fact.
Throughout the 5th century, the Western Roman Empire had been steadily disintegrating under the iron fist of barbaric tribes. In 476, the last Roman emperor abdicated the throne. To many, the Roman Empire had finally fallen.
But did it really fall? Because at the same time here in Constantinople, the Eastern Empire is thriving. It's prospering. And in 527 AD, an emperor named Justinian comes to the throne, who's not only completely committed to recodifying all of Roman law, he's bent on reconquering Constantine's empire.
Justinian I ruled during the Byzantine Empire's golden age.